All right, cool. Welcome back, guys. This is Elden Ring Bingo Lockout. I am CaptainDomo, and I'm accompanied by adef.
What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Yeah, baby. This is going to be a good one.
It's going to be a solid one.
This is going to be a good one.
So for anyone that doesn't know, this is pretty much like a bingo board, 5x5 with objectives, and we go ahead and race each other in those objectives. I run a thing also, a tournament called Bingo Brawlers. We've had 4 seasons so far.
Yeah, baby.
We bring in a lot of creators that compete against each other. It's 1v1 settings most of the time. It's very, very hectic and very stressful and very, very fun to watch. So I'm really excited to showcase this to you guys. And we have Mitch on commentary to give you guys a little bit of direction as well.
And we've actually got Xenadir joining us here, which is really amazing.
I'm very thankful for the opportunity to host from couch. We're going to get amazing donations, and Mitch and I are going to talk about bingo and Elden Ring and all the shenanigans you're about to witness in the meantime.
2 things I want to say really quick. First of all, Dom and I have never seen this board before.
Yep.
This will be brand new to us for the very first time. We'll be seeing the goals at the same time you all are. Second thing, obviously, audience, we want you to cheer. We want you to have a good time. We've got our commentary and our donation reader, obviously. So Domo and I have these noise-canceling headphones. Once the match starts, we will remove our headset and put on these so we can't hear really anything.
Yeah.
And that's to prevent, you know, we want this to be as serious a showcase as possible.
Right.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
That's it, man.
That's a start.
Good luck.
Good luck, Domo. I love you.
Love you too, buddy.
All right. With that, they're going to swap over their headphones, and I think that they are, you know, about to get ready. So once they are here, we'll do a countdown, and then there's actually going to be another countdown in the program. So wait a little. Let adef get ready.
Hold.
Don't rush him. Don't rush him.
I'm going to take a shower.
Okay.
Adef's going to be right back.
Okay. It looks like they are just about ready. So we'll get the timer started in 3, 2, 1. Starts our 10-second countdown timer, and once that hits 0, they are both going to go. The board is going to be revealed, and they're going to have to look at it. So 2, 1, let's go.
Let's go bingo.
All right, so the way that this lockout bingo works, it is lockout bingo. That means if one of them gets a square, the other one does not have the opportunity to mark that square. So for example, the top left square is reach level 85. If adef reaches level 85 first, and then later CaptainDomo reaches level 85, adef gets the square, Domo does not. Pretty simple. The goal of it is to get a full line of 5 squares in a row that can be sideways, that can be up and down, that can even be diagonal, going through the middle. So any line of 5 would instantly win the game. If nobody can get a full line of 5s because they've blocked each other out from certain squares, nobody can get a full line of 5, then whoever has the majority will win. So whoever could get to then 13 squares out of 25, that makes the majority if you do the math, that would be the then victory there. So both of them have 3 minutes at the start here to set up their characters. So they've looked at the squares, they've seen, okay, what weapon choice might be good, what might we want to use for talismans and things like that. And the bingo setup has a specific setup where we can buy a lot of the things you might want to get. So they can buy things like smithing stones in order to upgrade the eventual weapon that they're going to grab. They can get talismans. We've got like a special shop set up. One of the cool things is they can get whetstones. So whetstones allow you to apply affinities to your weapon, such as, for example, frost. So you could take a simple great katana, let's say, which naturally does bleed, add frost to it, and now you've got a very powerful weapon. That's something I'm expecting to see probably at least one of them take advantage of. Most likely both of them. There are other various affinities that could be good that we can call out throughout the match, but yeah, here they are making their plan and they're getting ready. So there's a 3 minutes at the start where they're not really going to be doing anything, and then once that starts, they can actually head out into the world and clear objectives. So
How about we talk about some of the amazing squares that have popped up on the randomized board? I do want to give a quick shout out. That center square was only unlocked due to the generous $60,000 total donation specifically for it. So I believe, are we still going with the rule that they cannot win without doing the middle square? Is that what we decided?
I would really like them to see it. Now, of course, we want them to play as competitively as possible.
Yes.
So we want them to really try to win to give the best showcase possible. But it would be really nice. So this board, I was able to check out a little bit beforehand just to make sure it's a nice square, a nice board, and it's got some synergy actually here. So in order to get to Consort Radahn, a few objectives that you must complete. You must kill Mesmer to get the flame, and and you must burn the ceiling tree. Now those are all three in a line there. So that could be a strong pressure play, is setting up Consort Radahn through that middle line going across by killing Mesmer, burning the ceiling tree, and killing Consort Radahn. That's 3 of the squares already out of 5 for that line. So could set up a very, very strong threat there. The other squares in that line, kill a Furnace Golem, not too slow, but not particularly fast either. Yep. And acquire a Velvet St. Trina sword is quite out of the way. So it could be a hard line to fully get, but sometimes you set up pressure, force your opponent to get some of those longer squares, well, you head off and do something faster and you gain these small advantages. So both of them have now set off on their journey. CaptainDomo is heading into the Scorched Ruins, where he may be grabbing some things here, or he might just be grabbing a Grace to come back to later. adef, it looks like, is beelining it for the Great Katana, a very, very powerful weapon that a lot of runners started to find as kind of one of the 2 meta weapons. The 2 metas tended to be the Great Katana and the backhand blades. And Domo, we can see is heading for the backhand blades. So already there's a split in their routing. adef is going straight for the Great Katana, and Domo is heading for the backhand blades. 2 very powerful weapons. The backhand blades, in theory, do more damage because they attack very quickly, but the Great Katana gets a lot of staggers, so it can be a little safer. You can stagger the enemy constantly and get these safer ripostes, but ripostes in this game are a little bit slow, so the backhand blades might end up a little faster. But yeah, both of them will have a very, very strong weapon here out the get-go. Domo is upgrading his weapon right now, so he's got the backhand blades. He already bought the smithing stones earlier, and now he's fully upgrading it to plus 24. In order to get plus 25, you would need to grab an ancient smithing stone, which are in limited supply, but there are a few in the DLC that he could grab. But while the 2 of them are setting up, we might have time for a few donations here, if we'd like.
We have way more than a few already in my lovely queue here. Here's $5 from my great friend Anonymous that said, Bingo Brawlers is my favorite event on Twitch. I'm so excited to see it, GDQ. Domo does so much work to make the competition so exciting and streamlined. Good luck, adef and Domo. Give it 110%. We also had $50 here from Tim Diggity that said, I abandoned here my $50 US. Fantastic reference. I hope y'all enjoyed the DLC if you got to play it. It was certainly an event and certainly made me suffer, but I love it nonetheless. We also had $25 here from our fantastic friend Anonymous once again that said $25 towards Jazz for Your Souls. That's right, we do still have the Saxophone Boss Showcase open. We need $150,000 to meet that incentive, or else we don't get to see it. And I know you all want to see somebody absolutely destroy bosses on a saxophone, right, audience? You have no idea what is in store for that. So while we get to watch an amazing bingo run of Elden Ring, we are setting up for that incentive. Please make sure when you're going to put your donation in, bottom of the page, select the Saxophone Boss Showcase, and then we can watch Dr. Doot funk on some bosses like you have never seen before.
Awesome. So as they're getting set up, one other thing to mention for the DLC, if you have not played it yet, there's a new power scaling progression, very specific to the DLC of Elden Ring. It's called Skidoo Tree Blessings, or officially it's Shadow Tree. Yeah, but everyone says
Skidoo's way funnier.
It is a lot funnier. And what those do is basically they provide a flat percentage increase to the damage you deal and to your damage reduction. In other words, meaning you will deal more damage and take less damage. Very powerful. Because it is a race, obviously you don't want to spend your time gathering every single one, but anything that you can grab along the way is going to make every boss fight quicker, and so also safer, and so it's going to be very, very beneficial to grab those wherever they can. Domo is here near a skip, actually. Tialier skip. So he lands on this tiny little ledge on the rock, and then another ledge, drops down a bit more, jumps down, and he should take some fall damage, but not die. Excellent. A few more jumps to get to the bottom. Almost there, and nice, successful skip. That was an awesome skip by Domo.
On the other side, I'm just watching adef mash like his life depends on it.
Yeah, adef with those mashing skills. He has told me he always consistently mashes faster than everyone else. The menuing in this game is not particularly fast. You don't need to mash that quickly, but doing it that quickly makes sure that every input happens as soon as possible. So he actually can gain a little bit of time there. Domo looks like is set up maybe a little quicker here than adef. He's getting into the kind of mid-game area. So there's the starting area that they were in, these plains, and now they're heading into the Skidoo Altus. And adef, on the other hand, it looks like going immediately for a goal here. So one of the goals here is to sell the Blood Fiend's arm at +0. And so that one you can get just by heading right over to the village over here, kill one of the Blood Fiends that drops the Blood Fiend's arm and sell it immediately. Along the way, it looks like he's going to grab the Grace near Belurat that he may want to come back to later. There is Kill a Dancing Lion is a square that you would need that is at the end of Belurat. So grabbing this Grace here as well as the Skidoo Tree Fragment is going to help him for later as he probably heads on the way to sell that Blood Fiend's arm +0. Domo, on the other hand, is now in Skidoo Altus, and so now this board is a fairly late game board. There's not a whole lot to collect very quickly here, but he may choose to head for some things such as acquire a DLC Legendary Ash Summon. That is the top right corner square, and so that one can be obtained. You can get Telu the Golem Smith in a forge here in Skidoo Altus. It's sort of on the way to the lower Rau ruins. That may be something he's going for, or he might just be setting up the map. Sometimes what players will do, instead of rushing for squares, is they'll just try to get the whole map unlocked. Now they've got options. Now you see, oh, my opponent got these squares in this line. Well, I've got the map unlocked. I can go and block you and get this one. So sometimes it can be a very, very powerful play to kind of almost wait on getting squares until you see what your opponent is doing, and then you can just counter whatever they're doing. But yeah, both of them setting up adef almost here in Prospect Town in order to get the Blood Fiend's arm so that he can sell it. With his fully upgraded weapon that he does have, he should make quick work of it, although it is in a large group of enemies, so we'll see if he can get it well.
I mean, thankfully he's using the Great Katana, which, as you mentioned, is better for staggers. There's the quit out just to save himself.
Yep.
But yeah, we were talking while practicing, and adef mentioned that the Great Katana and the backhand blade are generally more of your very clearly meta weapons in this case, but the Great Katana, because he's just more comfortable with it, is his weapon of choice, and that means a lot in a situation like this, especially when Blood Fiend's arm is a strong weapon in its own right. So making the call to stick with what he knows works, what he knows he's comfortable with, and sell the other one for the square, it's fantastic to see. So I'm curious to see how that lovely gank goes once he gets to all of them, and he's getting there right around now.
Right around now he's going to come up into that area. He did unfortunately fall down and have to sort of climb his way back up. Ooh, okay, he got the skip this time. Very nice little skip there. And so there's a particular sort of sleeping Blood Fiend here that he wants to sneak up on and kill as quickly as possible. Let's see if he can do it successfully. Oh, they woke up. That's not great. Okay, he's got one hit on him. Oh, they are really, really being mean here. So he's got to be super careful. Oh, and there it is.
So they both died within just like 30 seconds of each other. It is all right. He can try it again. And we're still early enough on that it doesn't hurt. You can definitely either pivot off of this or you can continue to attempt it once more. We can see what happens and how they continue to set up the board here.
Yeah, CaptainDomo, it looks like, is heading towards the Verdigris Discus. So he is going to grab, he's got a Stone Sword key, imbued Stone Sword key, and then you place it into this pedestal here. And what that's going to do is let you teleport into technically a late game area, but kind of a side area of the late game. It doesn't let you get into the main late game area, but it has this talisman that you can get, the Verdigris Discus. Very, very powerful defensive talisman. Not something they're necessarily going to use in a race, but if you were using it defensively, if you are on like heavy load, it reduces the damage you take by like 20% or something. It is a very, very powerful talisman. But in this case, a square on the board. In the bottom right, there's acquire Verdigris Discus, so it looks like Domo will get the very first one. Nice. First square for Domo. And adef also getting the skip down the Tialier skip. Looks like he sort of pivoted off of getting the Blood Fiend's arm +0 there. I wasn't exactly watching. He may have grabbed it and pivoted away and he'll sell it later, or he may have just gotten out of there since he wasn't quite able to get it the first try. But that puts Domo now solidly ahead. He has a square lead as well as some of the map that adef is now catching up on. So I would definitely say Domo has gotten out a little bit better out of this early game. adef not with a bad plan so far, but just a tiny little mistake here has put him a bit on the back foot and having to fight back from that. So Domo grabbing more of the Skidoo Tree fragments, unlocking more of the map, and looks like he's probably going to head towards Bonnie Village, or is he going to head? No, looks like he is, in fact, heading towards the DLC Legendary Ash Summon. So going towards Lower Rau, where There are several potential things that there could be down there, but the most common thing that you'll see from this is the legendary DLC Ash Summon. In that same forge, there's also a very powerful shield that has a throwing attack. It's the discus shield, the hurling discus, and that could be powerful for the bottom left square, kill a boss with throwing attacks only. So that shield has its special, its Ash of War, throws the shield, kind of like a Captain America thing, and it does actually very, very solid damage, huge range, very nice and safe. Not the fastest weapon that you might necessarily see, it's a shield after all, but very safe, very good, and could unlock that square in the bottom left.
There's several throwing weapons that have come into being during this DLC. A lot of them are found in the forges. Would you say that shield is like arguably the best one of them, or?
I would personally say absolutely so. The other ones tend to have very slow attacks, powerful, but very slow and hard to get off. You kind of have to run away to throw things. For example, there's the like throwing like great hammer where you like spin around a bunch and finally hurl it.
Olympian.
Yeah, it's very, very fun, but it is unfortunately not great when you're trying to fight bosses that are trying to hit you constantly. So the shield is just a nice little, you pop it up real quick, it hits them, and you get it right back. So that's the one I would expect them to go for, and it looks like what Domo is going for right here. So he's trying to push this lead here into a 2-square lead if he can get this first. adef still catching up on the map, unfortunately, so he's almost fully caught up at this point, but...
There's the mash again.
There's the mash, yep. He is talking to Hornsent, trying to get some of that story completed here, as well as he got the thing where he can now challenge Dane. May the Best Win is an emote that you need to challenge Dane. Dane is an NPC boss, which we see in the top right of the board, so he may be setting up for that later. Additionally, it's one that players will often kill with a perfume bottle, which is the middle square slightly towards the top, kill a boss using a perfume bottle. So Dane tends to get pretty stun-locked by that, so he may be setting up for that later as well.
Is there a particular perfume bottle they tend to go for? Because there's a bunch of the different elementals.
There are a bunch. There are a total of, I believe it's 4 or 5. I think there's a square for 4, and I think there's a 5th one potentially. But they tend to go for the Fire Spark perfume bottle. It is the easiest one to grab, and does the most just normal damage. The Lightning perfume bottle, also very great, just a little bit further out of the way. However, if he did want to go for the Lightning perfume bottle, it's directly next to the Rolling Giant Lightning Ram, which is in the top right of the board here. So that is something that you could do. You could go for the Rolling Giant Lightning Ram, kill that, and grab the Lightning Spark perfume bottle. That could be a good play that could set you up for row 2, which has a lot of these things that you could do fairly quickly. Kill a Red Bear is also something that a lot of players like to eye that pretty early. It's a boss that's just out in the open field that you can go get, staggers somewhat easily, has some good openings, so I would expect to see one of the players head for that in the near-ish future once they're fully set up.
Think I can give you a few moments to breathe here while I read out a couple donations?
Absolutely.
Well, let's start off with a $4,000 donation. That is from our friend JD Puppy and Think Quick Events, and they said, thanks to all who played the escape room at AGDQ this week. We're thrilled to play our part in unlocking more GDQ and to give to PCF. Let's get that saxophone run met. Thank you so much for adding to that incentive. We are now at $45,846 of the $150,000 needed. We started at about 17% on my tracker here. We're up to 30%. We still got about an hour and a half to go left in the estimate here, but we can only make it with all of your help together. We're going to need you to put your money towards that fantastic incentive. Helping us with that is another $100 from our friend Eddie Hartman that said, hello from the live crowd. Happy to attend in person for the first time. I've had multiple family members affected by cancer, so thank you for supporting such a great cause. Sorry for all the non-Yinzers for the cold weather, but thank you all for your support. Let's get that saxophone showcase going. Doot, doot, hype! Thank you, audience.
All right, so as we are continuing in here, Domo basically, and adef did this earlier, gathered some runes that are in the Fort of Reprimand. There are some very convenient runes, very large runes that you can grab, and so that can be used for upgrading various things or just leveling up. A bunch of levels is going to make things faster. adef looks like making his way towards generally the front of the Shadow Keep. This is the mid-game sort of end dungeon that they're going to need to go through eventually. There's a front way and a back way, and adef currently heading towards the front way, which has a golden hippo as its guardian. And so he may end up going through that way, or he may just be doing this to gather various things, but he is setting up there. Domo, on the other hand, did get the DLC Legendary Ash summon. That was Telu the Golem Smith, and along the way, did grab that Hurling Discus Shield. So he is set up to kill a boss with throwing attacks only. Domo with a 2-0 lead. Quite a strong lead here. And adef, you know, maybe perhaps looking to make a bit of a risky play here. He might be heading straight through towards that Mesmer, burn the ceiling tree, kill Consort Radon play. It's a risky play. Those are hard bosses. Those are some of the end game bosses of the DLC, but if he was able to get them really quickly, that could put a lot of pressure onto CaptainDomo, but as I say that, he pivots out. The classic.
We're just setting up for later.
You set up for later.
Dominoes.
You go do something else. You set up again. You go do something else. Yeah, these bingo players have really, really learned to sort of hide their intentions. So as soon as you mark a square, your opponent knows, oh, they got this square, it must have taken them, you know, 3 minutes to travel and 2 minutes to go through the forge. So now I know CaptainDomo spent 5 minutes there, and you can, you know, do the little calculations and say, ah, that must mean he has not unlocked Shadow Keep yet. So if I get there first, I've got priority on everything in Shadow Keep. So adef has just really been hiding everything he's been doing so far, and hopefully he will get the Blood Fiend's arm here. He just needs to kill only the one and pick up the item. It's on the ground. He needs to be very careful. He's at low health. He's got to heal.
Good heal.
Okay, good dodge. Just pick up the item, and then he can die if he needs to. Good, he's got the item. Let's go.
Second time's the charm, and now that sets up even more. We got a square incoming once that gets sold, and it's interesting to see, especially, oh wow, Domo over on the other side.
Domo is fighting Dane with the throwing shield. Yeah, it's not the fastest fight, but it is actually surprisingly safe. NPCs have a habit of trying to dodge your attack, but they dodge when you enter the attack.
It's the input.
Yes,
yeah.
And because the disc sort of stalls for a little bit before attacking, Dane will dodge when you throw it and then get hit when it actually flies through the air. So it is a very, very powerful strat. He's getting it here. This will be his first NPC boss, as well as the throwing attacks only. So yeah, Domo doing a great job of just keeping the pressure on, going for a lot of these earliest squares that you can find, and setting himself up even for some synergy here into the NPC bosses. So a great play from Domo, even though it is a little slow. He's probably going to have to refill his mana once again here in order to be able to get it done.
So close. And this is such a fun NPC too, because Dane introduced the hand-to-hand classification of weapons, which is only the 2 realistically, but you actually just get to punch and kick, and it's great.
And adef has claimed his first square.
There we go,
2
that's one.
DLC full armor sets. The first one he grabbed was next to the red bear, and then the second one he grabbed was kind of behind the starting area. So adef as well has sold the Blood Fiend's arm +0. That means they are tied up 2-2, perfectly tied, until Domo gets this square right here. Just one more throw should do it, maybe 2 at the most. It was two. Okay, and there it is. Excellent job by Domo. He's got to wait until the boss fully counts as dead. This is not technically dead yet until... There it is. Enemy felled. Now you can mark it. Beautiful by CaptainDomo. adef now heading straight into the Shadow Keep, going for the Golden Hippopotamus. Not a square here that we can see directly on the board, but it's going to set him up into the Shadow Keep, which unlocks so many different areas of the game, and so he has decided that it is going to be powerful to get this early. Nice big stagger from him. So the Great Katana does great staggers. You'll notice you can actually riposte him from his hands. You don't have to do it in the face. It's a very, very cool hitbox.
I did not know that.
Yeah, gets another stagger right away. Wow, adef just bullying the hippo here. Gonna go for another hand riposte, kind of teleports you into the right spot. I love the look of that. And
I
should set up
the look of the boss.
Yeah, he's a little. He needs an orthodontist for sure. Oh, scary move here though. Okay, didn't do too much damage. Because adef has a full set of armor because he collected 2, he's not taking too much damage from the enemy's hits here. Oh, another beautiful stagger. This will not quite kill, but it will set up for a kill in just a few more hits. He probably needs maybe 1 more bleed proc in order to do it, or frost proc. Oh, very nice dodge. He only got hit once by those needles. Those can really combo you. Okay, he's got to be a bit careful. Hippo does hit hard, but I think 2-ish more hits and he should stagger the Hippo. That miss, though, might let the Hippo recover some. No, he's still got the stagger. Beautiful. One more hit. He's done it. Nice boss kill.
I see Red Bear on the other
Yes,
monitor.
on the other side, Domo is fighting Red Bear. A great early game boss to try to fight. Unfortunately, he did die to it. The Red Bear does have very, very powerful attacks and very sort of unpredictable attacks. They can be strange on the timings. If you get it right, you can strafe around him a lot and hit him from the back, but it can be risky to try not to roll, but instead just walk around him. It doesn't always work, so let's watch. So you can see Domo's probably going to be doing a bit more damage than adef with these backhand blades, but he has no armor on, so he's just taking so much damage. He's sort of risking it here in order to try to go as fast as possible. It has been working for him, but we really hope that he does not get stuck on any boss with no armor. You can get almost one shot, as we saw with the Red Bear. He actually almost got killed in a single hit, but he's getting some good damage in here. The backhand blades, unfortunately, don't get a lot of staggers. No. Oh, and again, just takes one hit and is almost dead. This is certainly tough. He's got to heal back up. Okay, takes a hit. Unfortunate.
All right, while we reset there, you mind if I get a couple more donations in?
Absolutely, go for it.
Audio operator, my friend volunteer, I want to give you a fair warning on this one. If you would like to bring my microphone down a little bit, I can adjust as much on my end, but we did reach 50,000 total and counting for that saxophone boss showcase, so we are about a third of the way there. I need your help to continue getting us there, but we had some amazing donations that came through to help us get there, including $50 from ZC. Here we go. Curse you, cancer! And don't worry, there's another one. $25 from Charlagon Parker that said, curse you, pal! I hereby vow you will tune this day. Behold, a true sax warrior, and I, Charlie Gunn! Oh my God.
Let's go!
If you do not know who Egon is, he is one of the best NPCs that has ever been voiced in the Souls series. I was so excited when I saw those donations came in. Thank you, Audio, for working with me on that one. And thank you all for helping get us to 1.6 million while I was screaming.
Let's go!
I didn't even notice. Let's go. Continue pushing your donations to the Saxophone Boss Showcase incentive. I'm going to remind you, we have to meet that by the end of this bingo run. If we do not get that, we don't get to see Dr. Dude style on some bosses, so we need to get that 150,000 total. Please help us get there. You want more GDQ, and you want to see something as amazing as a saxophone controller. Trust me. All right, Mitch,
now
what do we got
I have to point out, they are on the same boss at the same time right now, both killing it. Domo has a little bit more damage per second, but as we mentioned, adef is a lot safer. Adef just got a stagger. This might almost kill. Oh my gosh, it's so close. Domo just a few hits behind. Oh my.
So close.
Adef is a little bit closer. Oh, 2 more hits from adef. 1 more hit from adef.
Come on.
Just one. He missed. Domo, oh my God, he got hit. Oh, Domo just needs 2 hits. adef got it. Who's gonna mark first?
There's the reach.
adef has got it. Oh my, what a snipe.
That's how you know it's a good match, and that's the moments we're looking forward to.
That is absolutely, and that has, in fact, now perfectly tied it up. 3 squares to 3 squares. Could not be any closer than this. This is an incredible showcase of bingo so far. Oh my, that was... It cannot get any closer. It was 1 hit away. It was one hit away.
That close. And it took, I believe that was Domo's 3rd attempt on that boss.
Yes.
And adef just happened to go around and go for that square. I wouldn't say there was too much hinting that was where Domo was, besides maybe just the time it was taking potentially could have given something there. But the players were on the same wavelength of that looks like the square I want next, and it leads to amazing moments like that. I hope we get more of that with what remains.
Yeah, for sure. I expect that we will probably see some more racing for squares, because these players just know what's going to be the most efficient things and what's going to be those great things to go for. And so sometimes they both know, yeah, this is the efficient square, and going for this will set me up nicely. And Domo was there first, but unfortunately had a few deaths that let adef come back. And sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes, you know, that bit of safety, you think, oh, I don't need safety. I just want to go as fast as possible. And sometimes it gets you in trouble. you know, if you don't have that armor and you end up dying, that loses a lot more time than the time that you save, you know, not picking it up. So adef now is heading into the Shadow Keep, into sort of the north section of the map, whereas Domo is heading into the south section of the map. So he's going through
right now.
The Dragon's Pit. Yes, he will go through the Ancient Dragon Man, which is another NPC boss.
That's what I was hoping for.
Setting up for it. And that's going to unlock the southern section of the map. That southern section has a lot of different things that they might be going for. Eventually, it's got the Velvet St. Trina's sword is in that southern section of the map. It's over near the Putrescent Knight area, that beautiful purple area.
Coffin fissure.
Stone coffin
all
fissure.
The way
all the way down. Like halfway down for the Velvet Sword, but absolutely. So Domo taking on the Ancient Dragon Man here. Some good dodges on his hits. Now, the backhand blades, unfortunately, don't quite stagger the Dragon Man as much as you might hope for. Oh, but a huge... I love the blind spot is the special Ash of War on those backhand blades. Oh, and he's making quick work of him. What am I saying? This is huge damage from Domo. Look at that. Already has him under half. Now, the Ancient Dragon Man may try to heal, but Domo can interrupt that as long as he keeps the pressure up. Domo might want to heal himself at some point, though, so... Or maybe he just wants to kill him. He's got Dragon Man in a loop. Oh no, very, very low on health. He's backing off, he's healing. Oh, lucky for him, Ancient Dragon Man did not try to heal himself, so he should be able to finish him up. No, so close. Oh. Yeah, just 2 hits there. That is really, really, really rough. Domo, I think now at this point, you know, is trying to play a little bit more defensive, but even playing a little defensive, you know, sometimes you can just get caught out like that. The DLC does massive amounts of damage. If you have played it, it just feels like everything in the game is killing you so quickly. And so that is, you know, that is something that the players have to deal with, but the players are very, very good at this. They've done this so many times. I'm sure Domo says, you know, that sucks, but I'll get him this time.
Important to note that he did start putting on armor now.
Yes.
He's changed it up a little bit just for a bit of extra safety, potentially resist some of the staggers that might come his way, because he is using a light weapon, as you've noted, that doesn't stagger enough, so that defense might really help him out here.
Yeah, it does luckily sort of prevent Ancient Dragon Man from attacking you directly backwards. It just can't like fully stagger lock. You get a few hits and then you have to back off, and then get a few hits and then back off. So still a powerful weapon for sure on Ancient Dragon Man, just, you know, not quite as cheesy perhaps as some of the other options where, like for example, Savage Lion's Claw, you could just kind of flatten him on the ground and flatten him on the ground and flatten him on the ground. So, but he's doing a great job with this fight here, making to stay very safe, very full health here. As adef is collecting another Skidoo fragment here, one of the scarier ones because there's a curse blade that tries to protect it, but Domo doing a good job. Avoid the fire here, very nice. He's got Ancient Dragon Man very close to dead. Ooh, unfortunately he got caught though on his special black backhand blade attack. But Ancient Dragon Man just maybe 2 more hits. One more. Nice. Good kill.
And that'll be 2 NPC bosses.
That is the second NPC boss, absolutely. So he would need 1 more to finish off that square. He doesn't have to do it right now. So what we often say is that somebody has priority on a square if they have some of the pieces of that square, and you don't always have to finish that off right away. It might not be the most efficient thing to do right now, and maybe you bait your opponent into doing an NPC boss or 2 before you finally finish it off. Now your opponent has wasted some time. You just have to be careful. If you cook on it for too long, if you let it sit for like 20, 30 minutes, your opponent might just take it away, and now those 2 that you did mean nothing anymore. So
yeah, that's time wasted.
It's tough.
You got nothing out of it. It's interesting to see how that's going to get set up. Who do you think would be potentially the 3rd NPC Domo would be going for?
Usually it's the Solitary Jail Knight because he is in this early game area. However, with the backhand blades versus the armor of the Solitary Jail Knight, he just like does not stagger at all. It is rough. Not as though you can't do it, but it is rough. adef getting a square right here, just kind of snuck it in, healing the wounded Kindred of Rot, and he is fully healed. Very nice.
Nice. Alrighty, while we have a moment, mind if I get a couple more donations in?
Absolutely.
Some amazing ones coming in. Everyone supporting the fantastic Saxophone Boss Showcase incentive. $25 here from Kona Rican that said, wait. Saxophone Elden Ring hasn't been met yet? Come on, chat. You want to see this? You need to see this. Can someone get a donation train ready to meet this incentive? I like that idea. We're at 32 minutes, let's say about 35 minutes, $5 dono train. We'd love to see it to help us meet that Saxophone Boss Showcase. We're at $55,832 of the $150,000 needed. And again, we have to meet it before the end of this run. There's about an hour and 15 minutes left. Our lovely bingo players are racing you to meet that, and you know you want to see someone play saxophone and Elden Ring at the same time. Fancy controllers always make it even more challenging, and Dr. Dude has prepared something absolutely incredible for you. $50 from Kay the Kitsune, who helped us with that, saying, you mean there's a possibility we finish GDQ without seeing Elden Ring played on a saxophone? Well, we can't let that happen. We need to meet that incentive. Seriously, though, what GDQ does and what PCF does is so fantastic and so important. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Audience, just let me hear you. You're very excited to potentially get that saxophone incentive, right? And you're gonna help us get there, right? We've got an hour and 15 minutes left. Let's see those donations, put them towards that incentive, and let's get back to some bingo. What do we got going on, Mitch?
All right, so adef is making his way through the Shadow Keep, while Domo is making his way through the southern Dragon Mountain. I've actually forgotten the name, but the big Dragon Mountain. He looks like Domo is pivoting out here, but he is set up to eventually acquire Egon's Furled Finger, which is in that mountainous dragon region. So he's got, again, priority on that, using our bingo term.
You know what that means, Chad. Egon. Sorry.
I do love me some Egon. Now, there is no kill bail on this, which is where you would hear the full speech, but we would get to see a little bit of Egon as we acquire his finger, and we always love to see some Egon. adef,
a little bit.
Making his way through the Shadow Keep, and what specifically he is heading for right here is for Mesmer. Mesmer is the final boss of the Shadow Keep, so you have to make your way all the way to the top. It's a bit of a windy path. You gotta pull some levers, you gotta move some stuff around, but he is almost there, so adef heading towards Mesmer, which will also eventually set him up towards the end game area with Burn the Ceiling Tree and with Kill Consort Radahn, again, all in the middle. Solitary jail for CaptainDomo.
Let's see it.
That's the third one. And so he's really tough with backhand blades. It's hard to get those staggers on him if the boss is attacking. You can see he just gets to poise right through your attacks just like that. You can't really trade with him. You have to play super, super safe. It is a tough one, but I expect that with another try or two, he'll definitely be able to pull it out here, the victory. An interesting thing is that there are these stakes of Marika in the game, so at certain bosses, if you die, you don't have to walk all the way back from the last grace. You get to respawn right out front of the arena, like Domo is right here. You can walk right back in and try again, so hopefully he can get it in another try or two. Again, just not the best weapon for this boss, but it's still going to be a lot faster to kill him with this than to try to like find another weapon, fully upgraded, all of that.
Build, yeah,
exactly. So he does have a nice enough build that he can kill him fairly quickly. He just needs to play very, very safe.
And guess what, audience and chat, it's time. We're at the 35-minute mark. Let me see that donation train. We want to see that number go up on Saxophone Boss Showcase. Let's see it. Let's keep raising money for the amazing Prevent Cancer Foundation, and let's see Domo hopefully get that square. This is a tough fight, and they put it right at the start.
Right at the start.
It definitely showed me how tough the DLC was going to be.
A very rude fight that is usually the first thing that people see, as adef is heading right into Mesmer, so we're going to have two boss fights going at the same time. Both of them will get them a square, and whoever gets this, you know, maybe he's going to end up having a slight lead here. adef currently ahead 4 squares to 3, but it is still definitely anyone's game at this point, as they are both heading for their next square. And adef getting some decent damage here in the start, but Domo almost has the NPC boss down.
It's close.
Oh,
nice
bleed proc. So Domo just needs a few more attacks. adef nicely dodging Mesmer's gigantic fire combos.
Trying to watch both of these.
It's hard, yeah.
From here.
You gotta swap back. Domo almost has it. One more hit.
No.
Just do not play greedy. Do not play greedy. That's what you cannot do. Domo, you cannot play greedy. No. He'll get it the next time. I'm sure of it. adef almost in the second phase of Mesmer. Here it is, second phase. So he always starts with this one particular attack, and then you have to watch for this gigantic explosion that Mesmer can do. So he's gonna do big damage here. Okay, takes a little bit of hits here, but that's okay. And he's just watching out for the large explosion. There it is, there it is, there it is. He tried to stagger him out. No. He lives through the explosion, but there's a ton of snakes following up. You have to be very careful. Oh, dodge the explosion. He lived, he lived. Okay, healing up, good choice by adef, playing very defensive. And we love that as a play. This big snake attack, it's got multiple hits. He's got to dodge it all. Nice dodges. Okay, Mesmer should be close to staggering still, I believe. So he just needs a few more hits and he should get that. Another large snake combo. Gets a frost proc. There's the stagger. This should finish him off. He's going, he wanted the backstab, I think.
It's okay,
nice.
It worked out.
Good kill, good kill.
And on the other side, it looks like we're going for the furled finger.
Yes,
he pivoted.
Yes, so Domo has pivoted off. He's fighting the dual Jagged Peak Drakes. There are 2 of them there. You only actually have to kill 1 of them for it to count. adef remembered to mark the Mesmer square when it finally gave him credit. As well as one sort of sneaky thing that adef did is he summoned Hornsent there at the end of the fight. What that does is it ensures that he's not going to have to fight Hornsent later in the Leda encounter. This does show us that he's probably planning to head towards Consort Radahn if he's planning to go through the Leda encounter. So that is great. Domo with a lovely stagger here. Now, dragons take huge headshot damage, so he can get a bunch of hits, as well as they take huge riposte damage. So watch, boom, all that health come off from the 1 riposte. And so he's going to try to get that maybe 1 or 2 more times, and he should have this Drake dead. Oh, got to be careful of the fire, though. The fire spreads out very, very quickly and can catch you very easily, especially with 2 Drakes that can both be doing fire. Luckily, they've turned their attention towards each other. This does give him some time to get some free damage in. You love to see that.
Trying to manage this fight with both Drakes, trying to fight you is incredible. He's doing an excellent job. I know I always struggled to do it when there was both, and I had to try and kill the weaker one first every time.
Yeah, that is definitely what you would normally see somebody do, but of course for speed, if we just kill the only one that's actually required, that's going to be faster than killing both. So he's got some good hits in. I don't know that he's going to have enough stagger to get 1 more in here. If he does, it would definitely finish off the Drake, but otherwise he can just finish it off with some regular attacks here. Maybe 1 more bleed proc. Ooh, unfortunately does take a hit there. He's going to have to back off and heal a bit. Be careful, there's fire coming in as well. And adef getting this kill here, for the Fire Rain. So there is Acquire 6 DLC incantations in the bottom left that adef is setting up for, as Domo has almost got the Drake. Just a few more attacks. He's playing it nice and safe. I love this play. If you see the Drake, fly away. If there's fire, just mount up on Torrent. Keep yourself safe. Go for it eventually. Ooh, that is a long attack to see. Okay, if he can avoid this, I think it's just
close.
A few more hits. He is so close.
But he's playing safer now.
I love to see that. You love to see that. You know, you get burned a few times and you learn to play it safe. He's got the kill. Very nice.
We need that finger. There he is. He's laughing. That's our boy.
Yep. Now you just gotta give Egon a little love tap so that he stops talking, so that you can talk to him again. And Domo is right about to boom mark the furled finger. Beautiful.
4 to 5 now.
4 to 5. Very, very close so far.
If we have a moment, I'd love to read a couple more donations that have come through.
I do think we have a moment.
We are up to 1.62 million and counting. We're at 66,623 out of the 150,000 needed for that saxophone boss showcase. We've made incredible progress, but we still need your help to get there. $5 from Flo said, $5 from everyone in chat, and we crushed that goal. Really nice bingo game mode, very fun to watch. $25 from our friend Anonymous said, can we get a dono train of favorite Elden Ring messages? Nothing like the classic, you don't have the right. Oh, you don't have the right. Do you have a favorite message that gets posted by people? I personally love Is This Dog. I love Is This Dog. That is forever my favorite, and it's gotten memed at some prizes that we've had in the past. I'd love to see more of those. $250 donation here from Triterium that said, doing my part for the saxophone boss. That sounds awesome. Good luck to adef and CaptainDomo. Thank you so much for these donations. Let's keep pushing that total higher and make sure you're selecting that saxophone incentive at the bottom. I know we can do it, chat, but only with your help and only if we get it before the end of this bingo match. What do we got going on?
All right, so now that adef has killed Mesmer, he also got enough runes that he was able to reach level 85. So adef has just been going for these big boss kills that give so many runes. He was able to reach that first. So now adef has now a 2-square lead, 6-4, and he is heading through the Rao ruins, which generally, I would say, looks like he's probably going to head towards Romina and burn the Sealing Tree. This is also going to set him up for that Consort Radahn play. So adef knows he's ahead. He can kind of push this advantage a little bit. Do maybe not the absolute fastest squares that he could do, but set up for this scary line in the middle. So sometimes when you're ahead on squares, you want to set up these threats and force your opponent to respond to kind of keep them behind a little bit. Domo, on the other hand, going back towards this Knight of the Solitary Jail. This will make his 3rd NPC boss. He just has to play it very, very safe. This is a scary boss with just weird timings on his attacks. All of his attacks are more delayed than you'd think, except for when you wait, then they're faster than you think. So they always just tend to catch you right when you don't expect them. But he's almost got him. He just needs to, heal up one more time. He's playing well. Very nice. A few more hits will do it. As Domo is making his way through the Rao ruins, or sorry, as adef is making his way through the ruins, Domo almost has him. Very nice hit. One more. He's got it. He's got it.
Once the message pops up.
Beautiful. There is our third NPC, now cutting that lead down to 1. So now just 6-5, pretty much as close as you could be at this point in the match. It is just very, very, very close. Now, one thing to keep in mind is because Domo has already done several of the NPC bosses, it might be harder for him to get that perfume bottle, as we mentioned earlier. A lot of times you do that on Dane. But now Domo is heading for a Knight boss. This is a boss with Knight in the name. This is the Black Knight Edred. So he may be just heading for some of these sort of like easier, earlier bosses to get in the squares here. And honestly, not a bad square to go for. It does require 3 bosses, but you can get 3 with Knight in the name, not too bad. He also killed this Knight of the Solitary Jail, so that was a second one. I don't believe he has a third one just yet, unless I have missed one, but basically he can get Edred and 1 more Knight, and he will have that square in the bottom right. So adef catching up very, very quickly here. Domo catching up very quickly here. adef still probably ahead a little on the map, but nice kill by Domo. Another thing to keep in mind is that they don't have the same areas of the map that are even open. adef does not have access to the southern area pretty much at all. He's not gone through Ancient Dragon Man, so if he needs to fight for any of those southern squares, that could be tough. Whereas Domo has not gone through Shadowkeep, so if he needs to fight for any of those northern squares, that could be tough. So there's a lot of keeping track of where has my opponent gone, where have I gone, and what squares you could get to before your opponent versus that they could get to before you. And it looks like for the third Knight boss, Domo is going for Rilana, the Twin Moon Knight. So it does have a Knight in the name. A remembrance boss, a tough boss, but one that he could get to very, very quickly. There's a little sort of backside skip to get right into her boss room, pretty much. And so with that, if he can get it, he will fully tie up this board 6-6, and we have a very, very close match on our hand. adef, though, probably may even fall behind on squares by the time he gets to Consort if he does go all the way there, but puts on that pressure on that row 3. So it's not only about the square count, it is also about those lines. And so if adef can set himself up to get a line, then Domo just has to respond to that or else, instantly lose. So smart plays by both players. They are both doing a great job. Domo, unfortunately, takes a couple hits here, but the lightning backhand blades are actually a great choice against Rilana because she's standing in water.
Yeah.
This is a water arena, so that makes lightning do additional damage. You can see on his hits, he's doing a very, very large amount of damage. Rilana does not stagger all that much, so unfortunately gets caught on the rollback. That is a very, very long combo, and one that if the first one hits you, it just kind of combos into itself. It can be very, very tough to get away from. So that is a little bit of an unfortunate death there, but he can probably head back in and get her not too quickly, or he might pivot out to a different Knight. There are easier Knights, although this is probably the fastest one that he can get to. On the other side, adef is making his way through Rao, and grabbing some incantations. So in the bottom left, there is Acquire 6 DLC incantations. He just got Pest Thread Spears. I've lost count of how many he's gotten, but he has at least 2 or 3 at this point that I have seen, and he may have even 4 or 5.
While we have a moment, mind if I get some more donations in?
Absolutely.
We are up to $71,558 out of the $150,000 needed for that saxophone boss showcase. We are under an hour left on the estimate of this bingo match. There's no guarantee that they don't go faster, and I think we've got a good pace going. So chat and audience, you're going to have to be racing our lovely runners here to get us that sax showcase. That closes at the end of this run. We have to get it before. $150 from Jim helping us out there saying, playing Elden Ring with a saxophone, what will they think of next? $100 from Zio Sigma that said, the runs this week have been a blast. I gotta see that Elden Ring saxophone showcase. It always astounds me with the creative ways people come up with to play games. Thank you so much for those donations. And unfortunately, it looks like we have another death on Domo's side. He got a lot
synchronized,
closer this way.
a double death.
Oh I didn't even see the other side.
A double death here.
They knew.
Give each other little faces here, like,
It's a good match so far. I like when this happened. That's a good moment. They've been synced up a couple times now, interestingly. But mind you, this time was for funnier reason than the Red Bear. But there's still some time left to see how much more they end up with together. And I believe this is the third attempt at Rolana. My faith is in Domo right now.
Yeah, he has absolutely been improving with each of the attempts. And, you know, he is an amazing player. He's been a little bit off of Elden Ring. He actually recently just had a vacation that he got right back from, had to come right over to GDQ, but he is getting back into it amazingly, and he did a great job in the practice room, so I have absolute faith that he can get her this time, whereas adef heading for Romina, a bit later of a boss, but arguably an easier boss. She is perhaps a little bit more straightforward than Rolana's continual barrage of hitboxes that has taken Domo out, unfortunately, once again. Oh, adef with a very, very quick transition that hits him with a lot of damage. He's got to avoid these butterflies here that are going to fall down and do a lot of damage. Good job weaving his way between them. And so Romina has a lot of these very scary sort of pink-tinted attacks that can afflict you with rot if you take too many of them. So he's really trying not to get rotted here as he tries to take her out. This roll move, very scary. He's just going to run away from it. Beautiful. Get a one hit here at the end. This is a nicer move that you can see that sort of going into the ground, you get a nice punish after. Oh, a beautiful strafe. So he wasn't even dodging there. He just kind of avoided the hitbox by standing in the right spot. And adef with another stagger, almost done with Romina as Domo heads into Rolana once more, taking a few hits, but he's still safe. He's able to heal back up. So yeah, Domo is doing great damage here. If he can live for just a little bit, he definitely has this. adef unfortunately getting a little bit of bad luck here on some slower attacks, so he hasn't been able to finish Romina off just yet. Ooh, nice avoiding of that attack there. Even slides along with her. I love to see that. So both of them doing beautifully on their boss fights so far. Oh, and adef has got the Romina kill. Let's go. Domo has put Rolana under half. She has not done the phase transition just yet, but she is about to. Ooh, nice stagger, takes the backstab. You could get a little more damage from the front, but not bad to take the backstab either. She's doing the guaranteed transition now. He might even be able to finish her off. I think he's going to play it safe. Not a bad choice. Okay, just avoid these. And one more. Heal up. Okay, he just needs a few more attacks. This is not a bad one to see. You can just dodge both of it, and he might be able to finish her off here.
Come on.
Almost.
Good dodge.
One more hit. He's got her. He's got her. Beautiful kill. Let's go, Domo.
This is such a good match so far. I love how tight it feels, how many amazing moments we've had. And I love that he decided to stick with attempting to finish Rolana in that moment. He's pivoted a time or two now, but he continued to do that just to finally finish off that square. And now that opens up even more for him.
Yeah, and the advantage still is adef 7-6, but I mean, that's a 1 square lead. That is, you do one objective, and it is totally tied up. However, adef now has access to burning the ceiling tree. He has killed both Mesmer and Romina, which are the 2 requirements. But he's pivoting out. He's being sneaky. He's being secretive. He does not want Domo to know that he has access to Consort Radahn right now. This is a very, very sneaky play.
And it looks like Domo might be going for the Furnace Golem.
The Furnace Golem. That is a great play. So not only is it a square that he can get for not too long. I mean, Furnace Golems do take forever.
Certainly a pain.
Yeah, but it is right here and blocks out that sneaky row 3. He recognized the threat from adef. Even though adef is trying to hide that he has burned the ceiling tree, Domo still was able to sniff it out. He says, hey, it's been a little too long, adef. You've been milking this a little too long without marking anything. I know you're going for that ceiling tree, Consort Radahn, that line 3. So Domo has successfully called out that if he gets this Furnace Golem, that he will be able to block off that row 3 and force this game into a likely majority game. We're not seeing a lot of threats on lines at this very, very moment. There are still potential lines open. adef has a couple of rows that are open, whereas Domo has the 5th column that is open. But it is looking like they're going to try to block each other. It doesn't look like any of them is going to particularly rush the line, although I think adef actually was going to. But with this block from Domo, I think that's going to take out the biggest line possibility. So Domo fighting the Furnace Golem, you knock it down, you get like 30 seconds to hit it in the face before you take the riposte, and he's got the kill. Beautiful quick kill. One knockdown, and he's got the kill. That is the power of the backhand blades. Very powerful weapon.
Alrighty, I'm going to read a couple donations here while we have a second. $250 from a friend anonymous that said, Dude. Also, Dude. Thank you for that fantastic donation because you are a part of what's gotten us to just over 50% for the Saxophone Boss Showcase. We're at $76,800 and counting of the $150,000 we need. We've got to pick up the pace if we want to get it. It's going to close at the end of this bingo match, and our lovely runners here are definitely going faster and faster. We have to race them to get it. Please make sure you select that incentive when you're putting in your donation. Just like $250 here from Geranosaur that said, such an amazing event, awesome runners, games, prizes, and more. Let's get that incentive met so we can see more Elden Ring. Thank you so much for that.
All right, so adef now has headed into the Bonnie Village. So the Bonnie Village has a few things. It's got the Oh Mother gesture, which unlocks the area with the Shaman Village, as well as the Finger Ruins Dio, which has the giant hand that is a bottom right square, is the kill the giant hand in the Finger Ruins Dio. So he can set himself up for that. It also has a jail over here. There's what's the Bonnie jail, and there's cleared 2 jails in the top right. So he's setting himself up for a few possible objectives here. Ooh. Is adef gonna go? He's going for, this is a skip I taught him in the practice room today. He did not know it before today. Okay. He's gonna show it off for the first time here, live on the GDQ stage, where you have to basically jump around certain pillars with a coyote timed jump where you change your momentum in mid-air by punching. So
that I knew immediately what you meant by coyote time.
Coyote time jump. That is where, yeah, you jump after you have left the ground. You run all the way off the ground and then jump. So it's a beautiful one here. Let's see if he can get it. So in practice, he was able to get it a few times in a row, but it is new. So let's see if he's got it. Jumps onto the table, makes sure not to destroy the table. Onto here, jumps up a bit more onto these. Now, here's our first coyote time jump. It's actually going to take 2. Didn't quite get it the first time. All right, he's got to get back up onto the table. Go for it again. This is a tough jump. This is one of the ones that throughout the Bingo Brawlers season, almost nobody used because it was considered to be too difficult. Oh, and you can see why. It is very, very tough to... Oh. I mean, I can do it. But I trust him. He's got it this time. He's got it this time.
It's duos now. That's a different season, actually.
There it is.
There
beautiful. Now that is only half of the skip. There's one more tough skip coming up here, so he gets to get onto this ledge here, and then he's got to get around this pillar and land safely on the other side. First try, beautiful.
You're saying he just learned that today?
Just today, yes.
That's incredible.
Just this morning. Yeah, so that gets you from the sort of main front side of the Shadowkeep into the late backside. So it gets you all the way up to the Loft Grace right here, which is going to get him right up to Commander Gaius, as well as the Finger Ruins Dio. So beautiful skip to execute there. It was one that he said, oh, you know, it's very situational. I probably won't use it in the match, but here it is, busting it out live on the stage. So beautiful preparation from adef as Domo is making his way through the backside of Shadowkeep as well. So he's recognized that he can't just let adef kind of bully him on all of these Shadowkeep objectives. He's going to need to go in as well, but he is heading in through the backside. So adef went in through the front side, so they have access to slightly different areas, but they both will eventually have access to these Finger Ruins Dio. Now, once adef does claim this square, there's not as much left in the Shadowkeep. There is things like the Sword of Light and Darkness. If you head out the bottom of the Shadowkeep, you can get the Stone Sword, or if you already have the Stone Sword, it becomes the Sword of Light or Darkness. So it's a cool item where there are 3 places you can pick it up, and the first place you get it is always the Stone Sword, then the second place is the Sword of Light or Darkness, and then the third place you can like swap it back and forth. It's a very, very cool item, and so they will have to go to at least 2 of those places, one of which is in the bottom of Shadowkeep. So something that he might be setting up for. adef almost certainly setting up for the Giant Hand. I cannot imagine any other reason why he'd be heading down here, except I guess he could potentially also want to kill Gaius for his Remembrance weapon. It's a very, very great weapon, the Sword Lance. And what the Sword Lance is, it's upgradable by regular smithing stones, which is a little bit more convenient generally to upgrade with. And it would get him the Upgrade a Remembrance weapon to max, which is the top left square there, Upgrade a Remembrance weapon to max, and it's a great weapon. It's honestly one that you could consider entirely swapping your build for, and it might be worth it, because it is a great, great weapon. Doesn't look like that's what adef is doing here. He is going for the Finger Ruins, but something that he might have considered.
I have a donation specifically for you real quick if you have a moment.
Really, absolutely.
$50 here from Zebesta that said, much love to Mitchriz and this amazing commentary. Let's see what the saxophone can do. Oh, you don't have the right. Audience, can I have a fantastic and very needed applause for Mitchriz and his commentary so far? So informed and helping keep us up with what is happening. And thank you for that $50 for helping push us towards 80,000 and counting out of the 150,000 we need for that saxophone boss showcase. We definitely need your help. Time is running out. We need to meet it before the end of this run. Thank you so much for all your donations so far. Let's see that total continue going up, and let's see what the rest of this bingo match has in store.
Oh, yeah. adef taking all the graces along the way, because this is a very scary area, and especially if you have not seen this giant hand, I missed it entirely on my casual playthrough. It's a menace. It is a complete menace.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't want to see it again.
Do not want to see it again.
No.
So if maybe we all close our eyes or something, because it is monstrous. It is not something that you love to see, but as adef, you will love to get the square when you kill it. But it is a tough one. The main thing is because it is so huge, it's like, how do you avoid its attacks? The entire arena becomes its attack. You really have to focus on well-timed rolls in order to get the immunity frames, the eye frames, so that you don't get hit by it. And so adef making his way over. It's also a little tricky to find the exact spot where it is. I assume that he knows where it is. If you ask me, couldn't tell you. I could not tell you, but I think adef knows, and he'll be able to get there as Domo is making his way through the backside of Shadowkeep. He might actually be heading for the same objective. He might have seen that potential, ooh, I'm going to go for the giant hand. He might have wanted to set up for his own column 5, which Domo has had open so far, but looks like adef is going to get there first as long as he does not have too much trouble. Oh, it's foggy, so it's extra hard to see, but he's found it. There is the hole that he can drop into, all the little finger creepers around. Gotta be a little careful not to take too much fall damage since we're about to fight that encounter. And he's getting ready and heading in. So here is our gigantic hand there. Look at it.
I don't wanna.
And as you can see, you just cannot get away from its attacks. So luckily it does not instantly kill, but it can run you over. It can do these giant slaps. Doesn't have too much health, luckily, so adef doing a good job of whittling it down and keeping his health up. Nice, beautifully timed roll. So he does get the immunity through it, but getting trapped in the corner now. He has no way out. He's just got to fight his way out. Beautiful stagger and a frost proc, a bleed proc. So just maybe 2 or 3 more hits and he should have it. Okay, he's taking some damage. He's taking a lot of damage. He's probably just going to want to heal up. Yes, okay, but he should be able to finish it off. Oh, one more after that. There it is. Nice kill by adef.
We are once again not tied. It is 8 adef, 7 Domo.
Yes.
Domo's nodding. He knows exactly what's happening, and he has a better picture of where adef potentially is or going, and what he has to pivot into now to figure out what's the next step.
Yeah, Domo now heading in for Mesmer, which is a something that was a square on the board, but now has been blocked out by adef. But by killing Mesmer, you get access to burning the ceiling tree, which could catch up for Consort Radahn. He doesn't want to just give away these squares that Domo has priority, or that adef has priority on.
He has to think of the immediate game as well as the potential long game, as if more things get taken or what he has to pivot into, and that's going to be after our lovely friend Mesmer here and the things he opens up. So it's good to see this fight again. I love the Mesmer fight personally.
It is absolutely one of my favorites, possibly my most favorite, but I keep like waffling back and forth. Is it Mesmer or is it Midra? Is it Mesmer or is it Midra? I love them both, but yeah, definitely one of the absolute best. Now Domo is very low on health. He's not healing here either, which is scary because Mesmer has a lot of big hitboxes. Nice. He gets a chance to heal there. Beautiful. Gets him into the second phase. No problem there. Again, he's got to be worried about that gigantic explosion that we saw hit adef. So hopefully Domo doesn't have such a problem here. Gets great damage on him. Here's the big explosion. Does unfortunately get hit. He has to avoid all the snakes. Does not avoid that one.
It is a tough move to avoid because it feels like it just keeps going. I never fully learned how to do it. I just eventually started tanking it and hoping I lived.
That is an option. The other option that a lot of runners will do is basically hit him once, run away. Hit him once, run away. Hit him once, just in case he explodes. If he starts exploding and you're already running away, you'll be safe. Now, Domo probably does not want to play that safe, but as long as he eventually gets there, he'll get it. Ooh, Domo though pivoting out. He might be heading towards a dancing lion. And final boss.
Final boss.
The rolling giant lightning ram. That is the final boss. Adef has informed me that yes, this is in fact the final boss of the DLC, the rolling giant lightning ram that he's going for, which is, it's exactly what it sounds like. The description is there. It doesn't even have an official name. It's just, it's rolling, there he goes, and it's hard to hit. It just rolls right by you.
I mean, it's a friend. You shouldn't want to hit it in the first place. It's just a big, cute ram, but it also does drop something, if I remember correctly. Is that the spark aromatic or the lightning aromatic? Or
I don't remember exactly. It might be an Ash of War for the... What did it?
Hello?
It just kind of floated in the air. Very cool, very cool. Okay, Adef just kind of waiting for it to roll back around. It does roll in a set path and rolls right over him. So as you can tell, definitely the final boss. Definitely the final boss of Bingo and the DLC. Will he get one hit in this time? He got one hit. Let's go.
Progress.
Where did it? Okay, well, okay, one more should do it. One more should do it. Just set himself up. And swing, batter, miss.
That's a strike.
Yep, that is definitely a strike.
Well, while we have a quick moment, while it takes another lap, $50 here from It's a Moik that said $50 to help with taking down the cancer boss and going towards Dr. Dude's saxophone run. Nice square. Also, if you face Consort Radon with musical instruments, does he turn into Concert Radon? Thank you for that $50, It's a Moik. Thank you for helping us get you 84,000 and counting out of the 150,000 we need for Saxophone Boss Showcase. Remember, select that incentive at the bottom of the donation page. We're only going to make it with your help, and we appreciate everything y'all are doing to help us support PCF and shout out these fantastic runners as they're racing Bingo. I see so many of these donations, and I wish I could get to all of them. Is that another?
That's another.
So 10?
Yeah, Adef had, as we mentioned earlier, he had killed Mesmer, he'd killed Romina, he was cooking on that burn the ceiling tree, trying to hide it, and he has finally taken it, so I think he might be heading straight towards Consort Radon, that center square that you all raised so much money to get there, and it is obviously a very powerful play right here, because it's something that Domo can't really defend against. Like, he can't go and kill Mesmer and Romina and burn the ceiling tree and catch up in time. And so that's going to put Adef not entirely at the win yet, but it's going to get him his 11th square, 2 away from a victory. And double checking on the board, there are no lines left at all for CaptainDomo. So every single column has been blocked, every single row has been blocked, both of the diagonals have been blocked, so Domo has to win on majority. Adef technically still does have a column 3 and a row 2 that he could make lines of, but by the time he finished those lines, he would already have majority. So basically at this point, whoever gets majority will be winning. So now it just comes down to that square counter. Adef is at 10 squares, CaptainDomo is at 7. That is a 3-square lead. That is a solid lead. That is not something that cannot be made back up, but it is something that is going to be very, very tough in order to make up. So as Adef is heading towards Consort Radon, Domo is heading back into the Mesmer fight, gonna try to kill him. Maybe he thinks that Adef is kind of bluffing on this Consort. He says, well, I think I can go and snipe it from you. That might be what he's thinking. Or he might just be trying to sort of set himself up. Maybe he's trying to get a good remembrance weapon to upgrade. There are a lot of reasons to kill Mesmer here as well. Adef having some trouble on the stairs. This is like the most scary section of the entire DLC, is just a staircase. And climbing up the staircase is just nearly impossible with all of these enemies firing projectiles at you, but he's made it halfway up, does a little quit out for safety to make sure that all the enemies de-aggro and he has a chance to heal, and now he's just got one more set of stairs here to climb before he's got another grace and safety. Domo into phase 2 again. Beautiful phase 1 fight from him so far. Get some nice damage on him. Okay, no explosion just yet, which is both a good and a bad thing, right? Obviously, having the explosion is bad, but knowing that you've gotten it out of the way makes it less likely to happen again. So he's got to now keep his eye out for it. At half health, he's going to need to heal, which he does right there. Beautiful heal. Maybe the explosion now? No explosion still. Domo getting a little lucky, not having the explosion happen yet. Beautiful. Okay. He's going to get a few hits in. Is he going to stay in? A stagger that might kill, Take the riposte from the front. Almost there. A few more hits. If he can get a bleed proc, he'll definitely have it. He's staying safe, though. Beautiful. He knows that explosion is a threat. He's playing it very, very safe. A few more hits. He can kill him now for sure if he explodes. He's got him.
we
Nice
go.
kill by Domo.
All right, Mesmer's down in both games. This is going to help open up a little more on the options for Domo. That's great because we're 10-7. 3 more for adef and we end the match. So let me tell you, chat, audience, we have to race adef and Domo to not finish their boards. You have to unlock that saxophone showcase before the end of this bingo race. Time is ticking down. We're not going to 1 hour 45 at this point. It's not happening. We need you to keep donating. Put your donations towards that incentive. We are 57%, $86,000 of the $150,000 needed. It is time to lock in, just like our players are. We need those donations. Please help us see Dr. Dude crush Elden Ring bosses on that saxophone. You know you want to see it. Trust me, now is the time to get those donations in. Please and thank you. Helping with that, $50 from Pink Pingu and Sunlicht that said, loving this amazing bingo battle from adef and Domo with phenomenal commentary from Mitchriz. Let's get that saxophone run and beat cancer. Thank you so much for those donations. Do I see Dancing Lion on the left monitor here?
It is indeed.
It's
the
time.
Dancing Lion. It is time for the Dancing Lion. A very interesting fight. So he's got a lot of weird moves that can kind of move him around a lot, and so it can be tough to keep up with him. So, oh, that's a great attack to see. You want to see him basically go up into the air. He's got a grabbing attack and a slamming attack, and both of those have a nice punish window. Domo taking a little bit of damage here, but not the worst. So he should be able to heal up after. Oh, he's just going for the big damage here. Phase transition. Now in the second phase, what the Lion is going to do is he has different elements. He always starts with lightning, but then he can go to frost or he can go to wind. So the frost, of course, can apply frostbite to you. The wind doesn't actually have any status associated with it, but does just make his attacks basically bigger. They've got like a big hitbox afterwards. Oh, but Domo just wrecking with the damage. What is that damage? He can just finish him off right here. Beautiful kill by Domo. Let's go.
I wanted to hear a little more of the OST, but also that was a fantastic kill and another square for Domo. 8-10 now.
8-10, yeah, not a huge lead for adef. It felt like it was, you know, this gigantic lead at 10-7, but then you'd see 10-8, and you're like, that's actually not too bad. And soon it might be 10-9, and then it's like, wow, that's basically tied. So these boards can turn around in absolutely an instant. Just 1 or 2 good plays, 1 or 2 things that you had priority on that you take advantage of, and it can swing so wildly. So adef now heading under the bottom of Shadowkeep, and this might be for the Sword of Light and Darkness is a very likely call that he may be going for. The Sword of Light and Darkness, again, you have to get multiple parts of it in order to get the full Sword of Light and Darkness, and so one of them is down here. There is another that is in a catacomb, and then the final one is in Rao, which he has already unlocked. He may have grabbed the one in Rao, and I may not have seen it as he ran through, but now that he's in the bottom, I expect that he's going to take the one down here. He's going to take the one in Rao, and that is going to get him his 11th square. So threatening really close to get to that 13, but Domo definitely fighting, definitely keeping in there, and definitely not falling too far behind. So it is anyone's race, although, you know, adef with a solid lead at this point.
He has some very good pressure going. And also I have a great $500 donation from Giant Electric Ram. They said they see me rolling, they hate. And thank you so much for that fantastic $500.
No, we love it. We love the Giant Rolling Ram.
I love the Giant Rolling Ram. adef might not, but I certainly do. And thank you for putting that $500 towards our saxophone boss showcase. $91,000. Oh, I see this.
There it is. There's a Sword of Light.
There we
nice
go.
job from adef.
That's 11.
That is 11.
$91,000 of the $150,000 needed for that saxophone boss showcase. It is getting tight. There is 2 more squares on adef's board, and we're done with this run. We have to get that incentive before this is over. Chat, now is the time. I believe in you. Let's make it happen.
Yes.
I can't believe we're already down to 2 squares.
We're already down to 2 squares. Another thing to mention, just while adef was in the bottom area, he hasn't gone for it yet, but he has the option later to go for the Aged One's Exaltation Talisman. That is down in the lower area. That is in the area after Jory on the way to Midra. And so you need to parry the Aged One, a specific one, in order to make it vulnerable. They're normally invulnerable, but if you get a proper parry, you can then kill it. adef, however, heading towards Leda and friends. Now, this is a tough fight, with a tougher fight after to get that Consort Radon center square, but adef says, hey, I know Domo has no chance of contesting this, so it's a very smart play to go for things that Domo can't contest when you're ahead like this. If you are ahead, even if the squares are not that fast, as long as you don't get sniped on them, as long as you just get a few squares you don't get sniped on, you're pretty much securing the win. So adef playing very, very smart here. Domo on the back foot, I think actually trying to go contest Consort Radahn. He says, hey, I think you're going to go for this. I do want to contest it, but I do not think that Domo is going to make it there in time. No. He may have initially also been heading for the Sword of Light and Darkness because that is in the Rao Ruins, but at this point that has been taken as well. So I think Domo is just trying to race towards Consort Radahn, trying to take that bluff, that adef may be bluffing that he's not actually going for it, but there's no bluff here. adef heading straight through the Leda and Dane encounter. There can be up to 5 NPCs in this encounter, but if you do the story correctly, I say correctly, it's kind of the most incorrect way to do the story.
Is there a correct in these games?
If you do it optimally for bingo, you only have to fight 2 enemies here, Dryleaf Dane and Needle Knight Leda. You can avoid all of the other ones by doing their story in a particular way. So, ooh, big damage here though. Dane can be a bit of a monster, and especially when both of them are out together. Now, there is a summon that you automatically get on your own side. There is story that you can do to get additional NPCs on your side, but you will always have Sanguine Noble Natan. And so he does a great amount of bleed, which synergizes well with your own bleed. You can kind of stack up your bleeds together. And now it is a 2v2, so a much nicer... Oh, big damage on Leda. He's got the Frost proc, the bleed proc, and he's going to basically try to stop Leda from healing. She is so low. It's only going to take a few more hits. Unfortunately, she does get the heal off. That's going to make this fight a little longer. He's swapping over. He's trying to basically fight with Natan to try to put their bleeds together on the same enemy. And Dane looks like, I think, is actually out of heals. I think Dane tried to heal there, but had already healed in the past. So NPCs, even when they're out of healing, they will attempt to heal anyway, which is very nice. Ooh, take some big hits there, though. Just a few more, maybe 4-ish more hits on Dane should do it.
So close.
It's so close. It's so close.
This is a tough fight. Even when done optimally, these NPCs are no pushovers. A lot of health and a lot of damage. That's one down. Come on.
One left. Now it's 2v1 versus Leda. Now they can kind of bully her a bit, although unfortunately Natan backing off. He takes a bit of a hit there. He's got to be careful. Okay, Natan took the aggro back. That's great. And Natan doing those bloody swipes from the Reduvia is a great thing. Oh, Natan going ham on her.
Very nice.
Natan is carrying. adef doesn't have to do anything. It's all Natan here. Let's go.
Where's the square for getting carried by your NPCs?
Oh, he ran right into Lada's hitbox though, but he's got her. He's got a beautiful kill.
That is a tough fight. Good stuff, adef. While we have a moment, I'm going to read a couple more donations here. $512 from Moradin that said, come on, chat, let's see that sack showcase. $50 from Romango that said, watching this nail-biting bingo with my son, dedicated to all the tarnished out there and putting it towards the sack showcase. 25 from Curry Singh that said, donate everyone. We got to see that saxophone boss showcase. That's right. We still have a little more time here. We're up to $98,000 of that $150,000. We're so close to 2/3 of the way there, but it is tight. There's only 2 more squares on adef's side. It is coming down to the wire here, but chat, audience, I believe in you. We are helping a fantastic cause. Select that incentive when you put in your donation so we can see Dr. Dude crush these bosses. Please and thank you. I believe in us. Let's get back to some bingo.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, I wish these players were just playing a little worse because they're just going through this too quickly. They are going to be done so quickly here because they are just incredible players. They can fill out pretty much an entire board in about an hour and a half, and that's about what it's looking like here. It's looking like they're going to finish this off very, very quickly here. Now, adef going for Consort Radahn. This is the hardest boss, in my opinion at least, that they have ever made. This is the absolute toughest one. If you make any mistake, phase 1 or phase 2, you can get comboed full to death. Max health, you know, all of that, big armor. He just hits so hard. He's got such long combos. It can be hard to get attacks in. Now, adef was practicing him a lot earlier today, knowing that we had that incentive to get the square. So he should feel very confident with it, but it is just a tough fight. It is just that tough. So he is buying a full set here of Somber Smithing Stones. It looks like he may be swapping a weapon. Oh, I think he's gonna upgrade a Remembrance weapon to max. So he has killed a few Remembrance bosses, and he's prepared to upgrade a weapon to max. Now, it doesn't look like he's doing it right now. He's just prepping for it. This is the classic, get priority, pivot out, come back, get 2 or 3 things all at once to surprise your opponent. So he has set up for that very, very nicely. If he kills Consort Radahn here, it may just be kind of over. He's got a Remembrance Weapon all prepped and prepared. So let's see if he can get this kill.
Saw that posture, saw that breath.
Gamer posture for sure.
All right, team, quick update for you. We have passed the $100,000 mark. We're at $102,000 for that showcase. Now is the time. As mentioned, if adef gets this, we're basically at the end game of this bingo run. 2/3 of the way there. Now is the time. Put your donations in, and we're going to see something absolutely incredible. Thank you for your donations that got us the Consort Radahn Center Square. Let's see how it goes.
Yes, he's got some good hits here. Very, very nice. Okay, that's a nice hit to see. You get to get 1 hit from behind him. He's low on stamina, though. He's got to be very, very careful as Domo is killing the Ghost Flame Dragon in order to get the thing to upgrade a Remembrance Weapon. So he's trying to take away that square from adef while adef is fighting Consort Radahn. Very smart play from Domo, and adef doing a great job on this Consort so far. He's got to very much avoid all of these attacks. That Blood Flame luckily only hits in front, so you can stay behind him and avoid it. Okay, long combos. He's got to avoid it all. Watch out for the explosion at the end. He rolls through it. Beautiful. Gets him into phase 2. Now, phase 2 is where it's going to go off the wall. There is now light happening all the time. Domo has gotten the Ghost Flame Dragon. Beautiful. adef kind of shaking his head. Not the attack you want to see. It's a little bit of a slow attack where he runs away from you and then he goes up into the air. But also, at least it didn't, you know, hit him. It didn't hit adef, so he's still safe so far. There's the hug. You do not want to get hugged. It's very slow. If you get hugged twice, it's an instant kill as well. But he's doing a great job. He has, I believe, not been hit at all so far. He's got full healing flasks left. He's doing a beautiful job with this fight. He just got to keep it solid the whole way through. Wonderful dodges through the light there. Now, every attack that Radahn does have all these extra light effects at the end of them, and so you've got to go in the correct direction to avoid them. It's all just, you can no longer just roll anywhere. You need to roll very, very specifically. Unfortunately, getting caught a few more times. He's able to heal up, though. He's back to full. That's
Domo
not
with
too
the square
bad.
on left. We got 9, fully upgraded.
Fully upgraded. Beautiful by Domo. Snipes away what adef was cooking on. So now adef is going to have to get a full extra square after this Consort fight, which adef is still doing beautifully on. There's another hug.
Display.
You do like to see the hug as a runner. It is pretty easy to avoid and gets you a nice punish afterwards. Beautiful rolls, beautiful rolls. He's still only been hit those couple of times. He's got Radahn down to about 1/3. At some time here, Radahn is going to do this big meteor attack where he's going to lift off into the sky, and that is going to come pretty soon based on the health total. So I would expect after a few more attacks, we'll see him leave. Not the meteor attack I was talking about, but another meteor attack where he goes into the sky. You've just got to kind of run away from this one. Ooh, unfortunately gets a bad pivot there. He's going to get hit a bit more. Nice blocks, though, so that he doesn't get killed. Okay, here he's taking off into the sky. Now, adef is just going to run away so that he does not get caught by this gigantic meteor explosion. He isn't even going to look back so that we can see it. And dodges through the end of it. Nice, nice, nice. That should get him maybe a little bit better of a punish at the end. Ooh, big, big combo here. This one's very tough to avoid. Gets clipped so many times. He's so low. Oh, good heals, though. Good heals. Yes. Okay. Radahn is stalling a little bit more. And the T-pose. He's T-posing once again. So once he waits this out, though, he's got a good opportunity. He's still got plenty of heals. He just needs to not play it greedy whatsoever.
Come on.
Good. Good dodges. Good. Not that one, though.
We still got heals. We're good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. The hug is a nice chance to heal. Beautiful. Okay. Unfortunately, the meteors again. This is another slower attack and one that is very hard to fully avoid. Nice.
Good dodge.
Avoiding. He's basically staying out of range for a lot of these. No! He got killed! No! Yeah, that's what I meant by Radahn being a menace. If you get caught by any of his moves, they combo into the next move, and they will instantly kill you. Now, Domo is heading into one of the jails here. So he is setting up for clear 2 jails. So this is a nice play. He's basically just trying to scoop up every other square. He says, hey, I'll let you have Consort. That's 1. That doesn't get you the win. If I get every other square, boom, victory is mine. So he's trying to scoop up everything else. adef now pivoting out as well. He says, oh, maybe going for Consort was just a little bit too much right then. So he's going to come back in a little bit.
adef buying us a little time here to try and meet that saxophone showcase, which I appreciate. That's optimal for us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, adef. $5 here from It's Me Adam saying what I was looking to hear. $5 train for Elden Ring saxophone. Now is the time to dial in. 2 squares left on adef, 4 on Domo, but as you've seen, anything can happen. This could go quick. Now is the time to lock it in to the end. $5 Tower train. I believe in us, chat. I believe in us, audience. You're raising money for a great cause. We're almost at 1.67 million and counting. I believe in us. We're at 109,000 out of the 150 needed for that saxophone boss showcase. Let's see it happen, and let's see more bingo. What remains anyways?
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot left. We've only got 5 squares left on the entire board. In order to win, adef only needs 2 of those 5 squares, and whereas in order to win, Domo needs 4 of those 5 squares. Not something that can't happen, but it is close, but it is definitely very adef favorite. Adef pivoting off into jails. This is what Domo's doing. If Domo gets to take away jails first, well, now all of a sudden, adef has wasted all of his time, Domo's got the 2 jails, and now there's only a 1 square difference between them. This could go absolutely Domo's way if he happens to just keep basically guessing what adef's going to do next. If he cuts off adef just a few more times, I mean, that's right back in it.
And
so,
all it took was 1 death to Radon for suddenly Domo to potentially be in the priority in this moment, because he went the right direction and they were thinking the same thing, but now he has the lead in that moment. It's incredible how fast that can just change.
Absolutely, but adef actually not going directly for jails.
Hello?
He's setting up. So this is the classic, I'm ahead, I'm going to pivot, and then pivot, and then pivot,
again.
and then pivot, and I'm just going to set up for everything. And whichever, things you go for, I'll then just take away the other thing. So he set himself up for jails in case Domo wasn't doing it, but even if Domo is, he's now setting himself up for something else as well. He's not fully committing to anything just yet. And Domo also using a perfume bottle. So if he gets the 2 jails with perfume bottles, that's tied. That's 11-11. If he can get the 2 of these here. So I absolutely love this play. Now, the perfume bottles can bully a little bit on Onze, but it is also tough. Onze hits really hard, as you can see there. Oh my, what a dodge, what a dodge.
Come on.
Okay, good heal. Good.
He's small, but he is not a pushover. This boss
Absolutely
is actually
not.
really difficult. He can catch you very easily, and he'll kill you quickly if he catches you in 1 combo. That's all it takes. This perfume bottle is really doing work, though. Come on.
Yes!
There it is.
Nice kill by Domo.
Come on. There it is.
There it
11
is.
to 10.
11 to 10.
That
This
gap's
is so
closing.
close. This is absolutely so close. Domo now has almost caught up. adef pivoting again, setting up for the Velvet St. Trina's sword. So adef almost feels like spinning his wheels almost, setting up for maybe too many things here. He's setting up for so many different things. Domo has had a great chance to come back for it. Now adef still is set up for a lot of things. Don't get me wrong, he's still in the lead, but Domo not that far behind. This absolutely could be anyone's race here. And so adef, he's going to need to commit. All he needs is 2 squares, but he's going to have to get those 2 squares and be able to commit to them. Now, killing Consort, we've seen he's very, very set up for, but that's tough. That's really, really tough. So I think adef probably wants to get any 1 other square and then head back to Consort in order to finish it off. He says, I don't think Domo can snipe me on Consort, but he could snipe me on everything else, so I want to get 1 other thing before I head back to Consort, which I think is a very, very smart play.
None of these are particularly fast
No, they
either.
They are all definitely very, very slow. He might also have an idea that Domo might have gone for a jail with the perfume bottle, because at this point, right, Domo needs to get synergy. He has to be setting up for multiple things. So adef might basically just figure, I will let Domo have jails, and I need to go for something else. So basically his options would be then the Velvet St. Trina's sword, which it looks like he's going for now, or the Aged One's Exaltation, which he also has decent priority on. He's also been down to the bottom of Shadowkeep. So both of those he's set up for fairly well, but he needs to choose one. He's got to get one, and then he's got to get that Consort kill if he wants to seal this out. Domo, on the other hand, if he can snipe away the jails, if he can snipe away the Velvet St. Trina sword, if he can snipe away the Aged One's Exaltation, I mean, that's a win right there. That's the 3 that he needs. So definitely, it's if adef continues and gets the Velvet St. Trina sword, he has set himself up into a great position. But if he does not, if he pivots out again, which we have seen, he keeps pivoting, then if Domo gets a chance to snipe that away, it might be a throw. So I hope for adef's sake that he does continue this out, but without knowledge of what Domo's doing, it's not like you can always just commit to that call of, oh, I'm definitely going to hard commit to this one thing. So he's played it very smart so far. He's kept himself continually having the advantage, having the lead, but it is coming down to it.
I want to give you all a quick update here. We're at 117,000, the 150,000 we need. We have crossed the 75% line, but we need your help to push us to the end. We have to get it before the end of this race. We are that close. 2 squares for adef or 3 for Domo. We are at the wire. You want to see someone crush Elden Ring bosses or get bit with a saxophone, right, audience? What did I just do? Can I get some hype for that saxophone boss showcase, please? Sorry, I just watched what happened on Domo's screen, and I was like, wow, I hate these enemies. Sorry. Even the small ones do a lot of damage. It's all it takes, weirdly, to catch you. But like I said, 79% and counting. We are getting closer, but we need your help now to get us to that showcase. Here's $250 from Hogwash, great name, who said, ooh, maybe the reason I found these Elden Ring bosses so tricky is I've been using the wrong instrument? Let's see that saxophone showcase to learn how it's done. Thank you so much for your generosity, and thank you all for getting us to 1.68 million and counting. I can't wait to see how far that total goes, especially when we meet that saxophone boss showcase. Let's do it together. Just over 30,000 away. Let's go, team.
Let's go. And we gained 10,000 in just the last few minutes, so we can absolutely do it. This is so close there. We can do it, but we have to do it so quickly because adef is almost at that Velvet St. Trina's sword. All he has to do is grab this Grace up here for safety, is what I'm going to expect him to do, head off to the side, and it's just a pickup. So adef almost has got his 12th square. He is almost just 1 square away, but Domo has cleared his 2nd jail. Boom, 11 to 11, all tied up, 11 to 11, right here. It really could not be closer. This is one of the best matches that we have seen. It has been so close, so back and forth. You know, I think we said that it was Domo favored for sure in the start. In the mid game, it looked like adef was really pulling away with it, but now Domo has come back and made it really neck and neck. So this is an awesome back and forth showcase, and this is everything that you want to see from Elden Ring, from DLC, from Bingo, from it all. It is so beautiful, but now adef has his 12th square. 1 away. If he can get back and kill Consort Radahn, that will finish it. And you can see Domo's trying to contest him on Consort Radahn. And so
for the people, do it.
For the people. If adef has a little oopsie, a few more times.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes for Domo to catch up. And Domo has such a powerful weapon setup.
Yes.
The backhand blades can absolutely shred the bosses. You see what it's doing to Romina right here. So he is catching up very quickly. adef, the nerves are on. Ooh, where is adef heading? He's going a little out of the way here into towards Prospect Town. What is he cooking up here? He might be grabbing something to help him out with the fight eventually, but I'm interested to see. Ooh, Domo got unfortunately clipped by a few of those hitboxes. When you're stuck in the corner like that, when there's a wall behind you, it can be hard to get away from those hitboxes. So unfortunately does not quite get it here. adef going for more Skidoo. He's playing it very, very safe. That is very, very smart.
More damage resistance, more damage done. It'd be perfect, and it would definitely help with that fight because we saw all it took was 1 combo, and you're done. And that's time lost. You got to try again. And he definitely wants to get that Consort Radahn. You can see it. They're both just buying us time here. We are about 26,000 away and counting from that saxophone boss showcase. And we're about 16,000 away and counting from 1.7 million. We meet 1.7 million and a little bit of a further push, and we've got that saxophone boss showcase. We can do it together, team. I believe in us. Our runners are buying us time, whether they know it or not. Let's get it together. $20 here from Rouse Dower that said, I am Elenia, saxophone of Mikola, and I have never known defeat. Dude, let's do it together, team. I believe in us. Let's get back to some bingo in the meantime. Consort Radahn on the right monitor. Let's go.
Yep, we've got Consort Radahn, we've got Romina. It's a double boss fight here. Both of them with strong openers here. So Domo with getting that big riposte. Romina takes a lot of riposte damage, so you want to get as many staggers as you possibly can. He's already got her into phase 2. She's high health for phase 2, but that is okay. She's a little bit scarier in the phase 2, does more butterflies, does more rot, whereas adef still in phase 1 of Consort Radahn, which he did beautifully last time. He did a full hitless phase 1 Radahn last time. Let's see if he can match that again. Domo now getting Romina just about to half health as adef slowly taking, big frost proc from adef. He got a bunch of damage there, so bringing Radahn down lower. Domo now has Romina under half and some big damage from the strafes. Oh, that is an unfortunate attack to see. She can just cover herself in those butterflies and you have to back off. You don't really have a choice. adef getting some good hits in on all of these punished opportunities that he can get. Okay, Domo very, very close though. Oh, she's stalling, but adef into the second phase. That is a very, very fast first phase from him. Unfortunately gets the stalling move, the raising into the air and T-posing. He's got to wait it out. Throwing some bone darts, and the reason for that is actually to keep the enemy's posture up. If you can hit them with anything, it will prevent their posture from regenerating, but Domo, I think, has the Romina kill right here. Beautiful kill by Domo, let's go.
Very nice. It's so close. This race and the time we have left to get that saxophone boss showcase. Chat, I believe in us. $250 here from Aegis Fang that said, glad to be able to donate to help raise money for such a great cause. Down with cancer. Let's get that saxophone showcase. 17,000 away from that. We're under 6,000 away from 1.7 million. Together we can do it. We are racing adef at this point, but we are so close.
And he is so fast.
This.
Look at how quickly he's bringing the boss down. So we need to raise that money really, really quickly because
now or never.
Radon is under half. Ooh, that is a slower move, though.
We have
You've
a
got to
stall.
avoid all this.
Radon, help us out.
Come on, Radon, stall for just a little bit longer. We can make it.
Come on, Radon. I don't want to root against adef, but I do want this to go a little longer. This is such a great bingo showcase.
I can unplug his controller right now. I can just go up and...
He offered it to you already.
Yeah,
I mean, the option's there.
But absolutely, he's doing a great job with the attacks here. He has taken a little bit of damage, so he's not full. He's got to be careful because he could get one shot here, but doing a great job of getting around behind him. So there's the big meteor move. He has to know that running away is going to be a lot harder when he's near the wall here, so he's running a good direction. And he should be able to make it out. Is he going to roll the last attack? He does.
Nice.
Gets in a little bit quicker. But unfortunately the T-post, that's more stalling. That's more time for you guys to raise
under
donations.
3,000 away from 1.7.
Under 15,000 away. We are almost there.
Come on. Let's get it, team. I believe in us. We have a little bit of time on the outros, inevitably, but not enough. It's now or never. 13,000 away on Saxophone Boss Showcase. Less than 1,000 away on 1.7 million. Come on, team. Radon's that close.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And adef doing a beautiful job of avoiding all these attacks. Radon under 20%, maybe even about 10% right now. He is almost there. And one more stagger would definitely do it. He's getting some
1.7 million.
1.7. And less than 12,000 to go.
Oh no, it's right there.
But adef only needs about 2 more hits. He got hit once though. This is a bad spot to be in. He's got to avoid all of this. Nice. Okay, he can finish him off here. Just 2 more attacks. He's done it. Let's
go. 13. That's the match. Under 10,000 away from Saxophone Boss Showcase. Over 1.7 million raised and counting. We have a little bit of time to shout out how amazing this match is and hear from our runners. Now is the time to get those donations in. What a fantastic match. Mitch, you were excellent on commentary. I cannot say that enough.
Yeah, absolutely one of the matches of all time. Our beautiful runners have done such an amazing, amazing showcase. They've got to both feel so proud of that one. It was back and forth the whole way.
Was incredible.
Just well played from both runners, absolutely.
The amount of times you both were fighting bosses, and it's like, I don't know which one to look at. Like, what am I doing here? It was neck and neck. You had so many amazing thoughts of the same thing, watching you two strategize, and all the things that went right, all the things that went wrong. That was, audience, that was amazing, right? Oh my goodness. Oh, we're under 6,000 away. We got some time. What words do we have from our amazing bingo runners here in the meantime? Let's keep going on that saxophone showcase in the meantime.
That was hectic, dude.
Yeah, that was one of the best matches we've ever played for sure.
Yes, that was pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah.
Very solid.
That was sick. I'd like to give...
Under 5K.
Dude, a huge kudos. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
Did you raise $100,000?
We raised $100,000.
It might have been that amazing. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Huge kudos to Mitch. Mitch vetted several boards to find a fun one. And I think this one had a good mix of like stuff to pick up, but also lots of cool bosses to fight. Like, I think we both separately fought. Did you kill Rolana?
Yeah.
Okay, so we fought what?
Under
like,
4K.
We killed what, like 5 or 6 remembrance bosses total? Probably?
A lot.
Yeah, so that's super sick. Dude, Domo, you played so good.
Dude, the Red Bear snipe just ruined.
Okay,
it was,
I saw you.
it was like 3 seconds.
Okay,
that
because
close.
once I saw him reach over for the trackpad when I clicked Red Bear, I was like, oh, was it that close? Like,
It was.
oh my God.
It was very, very
Two.
close.
Okay, I held Prio on Ceiling Tree for like probably a half hour.
Jesus.
Were you going for that like at all?
No.
No.
I was like, okay, you already have Mesmer, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna book it all the way there just to have it prepped. I'm gonna try and collect everything else just to get priority and everything else.
Once I burned the Ceiling Tree and killed Letta, I tried to split map presence. I tried to split map presence everywhere. So I tried to have like prep on everything, but then you started ticking off the stuff that I had prepped, and I was like, also, we are so
Under 500.
There.
Come on, keep them coming, baby. Keep them coming.
Almost 400.
400 to go. 375.
230.
One under
180.
200.
Ooh, yeah!
Hey! Let's go!
Thank you so much for your amazing donations during this bingo race. We have officially unlocked the Saxophone Boss Showcase featuring Dr. Doot. We'll be seeing that soon. We still got to close it out, but that is an amazing 1.716 million and counting. So thank you so much for your generosity, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
it
thank
goes
you,
towards
thank
a
you.
great cause, and this next run of Elden Ring Saxophone, you're not going to want to miss that.
Yeah,
It's going to be sick.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Hey, what
a
are
lot
your
of fun.
what are your I mean, we can close it up here so we don't blabber on forever. But
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the match overall?
It was good. I'm mad at myself, obviously. Whenever you lose, you're like,
Sure.
ah.
Yeah, right.
But I think it was great. It was great for sure, showcasing a lot of different bosses, a lot of different areas as well. I thought that was really, really nice. I really thought some squares would be a bit closer, but every single time I marked a square, you marked somewhere completely else
is it-
in
we were-
Timbuktu, and I was like,
Pivot.
okay, I thought we had the same idea.
I was certain we were racing on like 3 or 4 different squares, and we never were.
Yeah.
But apparently we raced. At least there was like 1 or 2 snipes in the match, so people can see. Like Lockout Bingo is so sick.
Yeah.
As you just saw, Domo runs this thing called Bingo Brawlers that you really please go look it up. We've done 4 seasons of Elden Ring. I was a participant in seasons 3 and 4. Domo hosts and produces and runs the thing.
Yeah.
And more games I heard are, maybe we can make a little announcement.
Yeah, so pretty much Bingo Brawl is trying to grow it as much as I have the last 2 years. We've done 4 seasons of Elden Ring, but I want to advance it to other games. As some people know, there's like Ocarina of Time, there's Mario 64. I want to get into Minecraft. I want to like show the community all the different cool things they can do in Bingo. And so Monster of the Wilds is coming out in February. That's something I'm eyeballing for Bingo. It's going to be amazing. Just season 5 as well coming
yeah.
out.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, a lot of things prepped. It'll be great.
Check Domo out. Bingo Brawlers on YouTube and Twitch.
Check out adef. Check out Mitch. Commenting was fantastic.
Yeah,
probably.
Mitch, dude, for Mitch though,
Seriously.
am I right? Yeah.
Carrying an hour and 34 minutes of commentary like that and a little beyond that, you're incredible for that. This is several times I've worked with you, and every time you were just a treat to be with. Thank you, Mitch. Seriously.
Thank you very much.
Xenadir on the donos,
Yeah.
baby. Getting that 100K.
Thank you all for the donations you put through. I saw a lot.